Together for the final affirmative team speaker.
Go. She's the one I debated and
Good afternoon, adjudicator, the audience, my fellow teammates, and the opposition. Today I would like to be talking about the motion AI simulations of past people should be illegal. Firstly, hello everyone, my name is Celline Louise Agusalim from Bina Tunas Bangsa International School. Alright, so first let's start off. So in my teammates, my first speaker had talked about twisted truths, along with that controversial fake news, fake footage as well, and that the government could use these fake footages to actually display it to the public and have mixed, wrong opinions. And then afterwards, my second speaker had talked about the disrespectfulness. What about those past people's human rights that are deceased? What do you think they would view us as? What if you were the person they're talking about? Would you like to be talked about even after your death? Don't you want a peaceful death? Of course we all want that. Now, my third speaker had talked about how it all depends on documentation, along with that, history does not reflect opinion. And then afterwards, cultural context can indeed change. Now let me move on to my rebuttals. So, as the first speaker of the opposition had said, they talked about the neutral bodies, how they will be unbiased. And then afterwards, the second speaker had also talked about the same point, referring to how safe and how assured, along with evidence, that those footages will be made. However, let me ask you guys, how do you know? How do you know if it's safe? How do you know if it's true? Now, they also talked about how the government will be having access to these footages. Well, don't you think that some governments are actually corrupt? And the thing is, it is inevitable. Now imagine a world where there are no corrupt governments. Wouldn't it be a perfect world? Now the thing is, are we humans or are we AIs? We are humans. Humans have flaws. And that's something that makes us all beautiful. That's something that makes us all unique. Yes! We're not all the same color. Imagine, in a garden full of roses, every single one is just red. How monotonous would that be? Yes! Would you like that? Yes! Well, indeed, no. You know what makes a garden beautiful? All the thousands of different colored roses, flowers, and trees. Now, we wouldn't want to live in a monotonous world, would we? Now, continuing. The first speaker of the opposition had also talked about the twisted truth. They weren't even done before AI. So what? Now, they talked about war crimes and how, as again, it happened before AI. Now let me ask you, do you want to continue having these twisted truths, not knowing what actually happened? Now, next to that, they talked about visualizing. The first speaker and third speaker had talked about visualizing, like a live concert where you meet your idols and where you could even visualize ugly history. Okay, first let me talk about idols. Don't you think there are people, well, generally, there are lots of people who are dirty-minded, right? So there are lots of people who might make inappropriate simulations. Now let me bring up a person that I know you all know. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, guys. Do you know what she wanted to be portrayed as? Do you know what she wanted to be remembered as? She wanted to be remembered as a confident actress. And what did she get portrayed to be? Do you know what she got portrayed to be in the end? After all those efforts, she got to be a famous inappropriate symbol. If you credible than books? I said again, books have gone under a long time for publishing, for evidence checking, and all these things. Do you think they'll really lie to you in books? What about on social media? You could post anything, everything, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be true to be accepted to be put and uploaded in the web. Now, another thing is, Martin Luther King, as you have mentioned in the opposition, there is an actual real video of it, and it's not AI, I could assure you of it. Now, going back to education, let me ask you, would you rather go the easy path or the hard path? Now, what if I tell you, in WSC, you take the easy path? You don't even research, all you do is watch AI simulations, and you're like, oh my god, it's so easy! I get to hang out here, I get to hang out there. And then what happens in the end? You cry because you don't get medals. And you know why? Because you take the short path. I'm telling you guys, don't do that. That will only lead you to regret. What you have to do is you take, I didn't say the hard path, but the accurate path. You take the accurate path, and how is this? Some people can take it from books, and this is accurate. Now, along with that, I would like to talk about third speaker. You have talked about how we could visualize ugly history and change public opinion, and it could even be empowerment. Now let me ask you, what about Marilyn Monroe again? And along with that, you mentioned Hamilton and Jefferson. So the thing is, in Tumblr, they even ended up glorifying both of them. Now, isn't that just downright not right? Now, let me ask you, don't you know that Jefferson, he actually had a minor and treated her as an inappropriate slave? And he was glorified for it. Would you glorify a person like that? No, who would? Now, what about Hamilton?
That's why we lost.
As I said again, it's inaccurate. It's inaccurate, especially in education. Would you guys like to go to school and just watch AI simulations, not even knowing that it's true or false, and even ending up maybe 50% of your whole education that you spent for those 12 years, they're all false, and they don't even apply to real life. You don't even get to apply that, because all you know, those 50% of your blood, sweat, and tears and effort in your school are all lies. Strongly conclude this session's debate that the opposition's points are quite irrelevant and that AI simulations of past people should be illegal. Thank you.
Thank you, affirmative